What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cheesy Desert Cooking Vlog. Today we're going to make a Beef Wellington. It's a British dish where you bake a filet mignon inside a puff pastry. It's delicious, expensive, and bougie as fuck. So make this when you have white people over. Before we get started, we need to go hunting for some wild mushrooms. Wild mushrooms can be very dangerous, so you have to hunt with caution. Wait, I see some baby portobellos behind that bush. Die! Die! Die, you Oompa Loompa! There. Fresh wild mushrooms. Next, we need to cut these shrooms into small pieces and cook the liquid out of them to increase flavor. If you have a food processor, use it. I have a Ninja blender, which is just as good, but is it as good as a real Ninja? In a dry pan, add your mushroom to medium-high heat. Then tear in a couple thyme leaves for aromatics. Now we're going to add in truffle salt. Truffles are an exquisite wild mushroom that I got from the... Add in a couple pinches along with some pepper. Mix it until most of the moisture cooks out. Meanwhile, season your filet all the way around with salt and pepper. Make sure you mop up all the seasoning. Now we brown our filet. Heat up a pan to very high heat and add some canola or grapeseed oil. Make sure you brown the sides to get a nice sear and crust. And make sure you're very careful dealing with this much heat. Oh my god! You must have heard my mixtape. All good, nothing to worry about. My backyard's still intact. Now we have to cover the whole thing with mustard by painting it on like Jack did for those French girls.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
Alright.
So serious.
Put your meat up like that.
That made no sense, but I'm gonna leave it in anyway. Roll out some stupid plastic wrap.
Sit.
We're gonna build the Wellington. There are 3 levels, and the first is the prosciutto, then dried mushrooms, then meat log. Wrap your Wellington by grabbing the plastic wrap and tightly tucking it under the log. Then roll it up. Make sure it's really tight. Then you're going to want to let it cool in the freezer for 20 minutes. While it's in there, let's prep our puff pastry. Start by sprinkling on the surface some of that quality, Grade A, Colombian, all-purpose flour. Puff pastry is basically just pastry that's puffy, and P.S. it's in the frozen dessert section above the pies. This took me 30 minutes to find out on my own because I got stubborn and refused to ask for any help at a grocery store. Here I'm just rolling out the pastry so that it will cover the entire meat log. But before you wrap it up, you're going to add an egg wash to the outside so that the dough sticks and holds. Use a brush and paint the egg on like Jack did for those French girls. Just kidding, I won't do that again. Grab the ends and fold it over. Try to bunch everything to the bottom so the top stays smooth. You want the bottom to be a little thicker because all the juices are going to run downwards. Cut off any excess dough and pack it tight. If you need more egg wash to help it stick, do it. Lastly, paint the entire thing with egg wash. This will make it golden and crisp. If you want, you can cut designs into the wash and it will bake all pretty and stuff. You can cut lines or little leaves or shapes. I made a goat playing a maraca, which actually looks more like Satan holding a tennis racket. Salt the top to make it more crispy. Then insert a meat thermometer if you have one. I don't, but luckily my catheter also reads temperature. Put it in a 400-degree oven for about 40 minutes or until the thermometer reads 110 degrees. Okay, I messed up real bad. 10 minutes ago I checked it and it was at 90 degrees. It took 35 minutes to go from 60 to 90. Then I go back and it's at 130, so I freaked out and I pulled it out and let it sit. Well, the heat insulated in the pastry caused it to go from 130 to 160! A 30-degree climb? Are you kidding me? This whole thing cost me like $100 and I blew it. I can't believe it. Let's cut into it and see the damage. Maybe I got lucky. Oh, God. So disappointing. It's way overcooked. The one bright side is that it actually tastes pretty good, and the fact that it's a filet gives me a little bit more wiggle room because it's still tender. But like I said, take it out at 110. Don't make my mistakes. Regardless, I can't make any excuses. I failed you, cheesies. There's only one way to deal with this, and that is a samurai's death. That's it for today, guys. Make sure you look us up. Follow me everywhere at Cheesy Desert Cooking. I hope you enjoyed that recipe. Tune in next time. That took 57 takes! I'm gonna go try it with a wine glass.